It is time for our Travel Michigan update. Actually, our final one of the 2023 year, and we're heading back to a kind of a favorite place for us around here, Holland, Michigan. We've been there many times on our Travel Michigan update, and of course, we have stations there too. So I get up there occasionally as well. But you might not know everything there is to see and do in Holland, but someone who's put together kind of a compilation of it is the owner of Hip Grandma with a Camera, published author, photographer, speaker, Veronica Bareman, who's on the line with us to talk about 100 Things to Do in Holland, Michigan Before You Die, her new book. Are there really 100 things to do in Holland?
There are actually many, many more than 100. I had to limit myself to 100, and in the side notes, you'll find there's actually more than 100 in the book.
All right.
Yeah.
So how did you sit down and decide, hey, I want to, in pictures and words, put all this together for folks to discover the city of Holland?
Well, I am a travel writer, which means destinations around the country invite me into their town to explore and write about what I find. And one of the things that I've noticed is a theme wherever I go in talking to the locals is they say, well, there's nothing to do around here. And here I am exploring all these really cool places, and it's kind of a common theme that people don't really look right outside of their back door to see what's within half hour to an hour to 2 hours of home. So I'm writing about all these fascinating places around the country, and all of a sudden it occurred to me, Holland is my hometown, and there's a bajillion things to do, and I love my town. So why am I not writing about my own hometown?
Well, a lot of folks obviously windmills and the Tulip Festival for Holland, but there's a lot more behind the scenes year-round in Holland, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have so much. I mean, people know the tulip time, but yeah, we have so much all year round. And like we have lakes, we're lakeshore town, so paddle boarding and fishing charters and a dinner on the Holland paddle boat, watching the sunset over Lake Michigan. There's stuff to do all year round. Wintertime, we have snowshoeing and nature centers, and the list goes on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the downtown's kind of cool, and actually the downtown is unique. I don't know if there are any. I haven't heard of any other cities. I'm sure there probably are that have the infrastructure that Holland does with the hot water lines underneath the street and the sidewalks that melt the snow off.
Yep, our snow melt sidewalks, and we are the biggest in Michigan, the biggest distance of snow melt sidewalks. So, okay. Yeah, that keeps our downtown active all year round with walkers, and you can trek right through downtown and no worries about it being slippery or wet. It's maybe a little bit wet, but no slippery, no snow, and no plowing, so it's wonderful. It's very nice.
Now, as far as lists go, Holland, one list had them ranked first in Michigan for quality of life, listed as the second happiest city in the USA. So that's kind of the overview piece of it. But what are one or two or three maybe unique places that, out-of-the-way places that people wouldn't normally go to that you say you got to go to?
Oh, goodness. The list is so long, it's hard to narrow down. I would say many people, even though they come for tulip time, Windmill Island Gardens, we have Deswan Windmill, which is the very last windmill that was sold from the Netherlands in 1964, I want to say. Oh, my details aren't fresh this morning. Anyway, there's three ways you can see the windmill. You can see it from window on the waterfront. You can go to Windmill Island Gardens, or you can take a paddle tour and paddle the inlet waterway that comes off of Lake Macatawa, and you can paddle past the windmill. So that's really cool. It's a working windmill. So that's your most typical windmill Holland, maybe underrated experience. Mm-hmm. We have Mexican restaurants galore. So choose your poison. You can find a wonderful, authentic Mexican all around town. We have margaritas is probably the most underrated, but best. It's kind of off the beaten path, and a family-owned restaurant. The food is amazing. Gosh, want me to keep going, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, a few other ones. I love in the notes here. It says the made from scratch pigs in a blanket at Russ's restaurant.
Oh, yes, Russ's restaurant is fantastic. Everything at Russ's is made in-house in their kitchen. So, yes, the pigs in the blanket, their soups are fantastic. Even their salad dressings are all made on spot. And if you haven't had their French dressing, you got to have their French dressing. It's fantastic. And at the holidays or any time, really, they make made-from-scratch pies right there, and you can order those.
Right.
Russ's has a wonderful, wonderful history. You can read a little bit more about it in the book, but it's amazing.
All right.
So, yeah.
So if we're getting the book phrase as kind of a tour guide then of Holland, how can someone get 100 things to do in Holland before you die?
Yeah, I tell people use it as kind of a little scrapbook or passport. Take it with you and have somebody sign it. Take a picture of yourself at each of the places. You can check them off as you go and really dig in and see what we've got to look at here.
Okay. How can folks get the book?
Well, they can get it on my website, which is hipgrandmalife.com, or all the shops in downtown Holland, not all of them, but many, many of the shops in downtown Holland, Jean Marie's, Apothecary Gift Shop, Reader's World. You can pick it up any of those places. Barnes & Noble here in Holland has it. It's also available on Amazon.
All right.
So,
100 Things to Do in Holland, Michigan Before You Die. Author Veronica Bareman with us on this edition of our Travel Michigan Update. Again, the website, hipgrandmalife.com. I love that. I love the website. Hey, Veronica, have a very Merry Christmas and happy 2024, all right?
that's right. You too, Ken. Thank you.
Bye-bye. On our Travel Michigan Update this morning, heading to Holland, Michigan.